Have you ever woken up on the wrong side of the bed? Yeah, and you just feel icky and the whole day just stinks because of it. Well, and then the next day you wake up, you go to the gym, you have your coffee, and life is good again. Well, that's the power of mindset. And if you have a positive mindset, you can do amazing things, grow your business, grow your life. In this next segment, we're going to talk with India Kern, who talks to us as a divorce coach herself, how she helps people going through divorce, some of the toughest times in their lives, find purpose and a positive mindset. Hi, Reb Risty here with Revolutionize Your Marketing, Your Business, Your Life. And I'm here today with India Kern, who I'm really excited to speak with. You are one of my favorite people I've got to meet and know over the last year. You're such a versatile person. You do everything from divorce coach to AI coach to God knows what else you do. But
Yeah, maybe I have ADD and I can't stay
that
in
yeah,
one
that could
spot.
be
I
a
don't
little
know.
bit of it
Yeah,
too. But well,
yeah, yeah.
today I know we're going to jump in our topic. We're going to talk about mindset and the power of that.
Mhm.
But first, before we jump in, tell my
Okay,
audience a little bit about who you are and what you do.
okay. So I am a certified divorce coach, and many people don't know what that is. So basically, you all probably know someone going through divorce, and it's like as if you've been dropped in a maze, blindfolded, and it's pitch black, dark, black. And so it's super confusing. People get scared. They're struggling. Oftentimes they feel overwhelmed. And I come in and guide them through the process from married to, I like to say, happily divorced, because I do think it's possible. So I help them with their mindset. I help them remove and separate their emotions from the business of divorce. The business of divorce would be the legal, the financial pieces, because there's so much fear and there's a lot of mindset around finances and what's going to happen after this divorce and I'm going to be lonely, etc. So I help a lot with mindset, with also strategy and game planning and connecting people. Like if my client needs this certain type of divorce professional, I have great relationships with the top divorce professionals in San Diego, but not only San Diego, all over. So that's what I do. But I also have been wearing that hat, but also I've been coaching coaches, other divorce coaches. And it's been expanding to not just divorce coaches, even business coaches and real estate coaches, real estate agents who are coaches. So it's been really fun because I can take what I do as a coach, but apply it to a different genre in marketing. And I know that I made a lot of mistakes when I was first starting, and I think you can be the best coach in the world, and as you know, in marketing, but if you don't have a presence and people can't see you, then it doesn't matter how good you are as a coach. So I made the mistake of thinking if I build it, people will come, and that is not the case.
What?
It
What
is
do
not the
you?
field of dreams. You really do
What
have
if I put up a website, nobody's going to show up? I don't understand.
Right, it's really pretty. It's so pretty. I'm like, I know, but you don't really need, I mean, you got to actually get people to call. You got to get scheduling. You have to have you have to do all these onboarding stuff. So, as you know, there's a lot of misconception about building it and
Yeah.
things that
No,
come.
it's
So I do that as
yeah,
well.
you're right. You're a divorce coach, you're helping other coaches by coaching them at AI. I think what really got us started talking is I love your social media. I think you are really
Thank you.
well versed in kind of like what's trending, how to stay out there. But you're also as a marketer, and I think that's my audience. They're marketers, they're entrepreneurs, small business owners. You are very
Hmm.
clever. You do lead magnets, you use funnels, like you are really for a solopreneur out there, you're doing a lot. Maybe just touch a little bit on that and leaning into the mindset, like as a business
Yeah.
owner, where do you have to get your mind to understand marketing and its importance, and it's not build it and they show up.
Yeah. Right, right. And I think that I definitely realized that I had to be a part of a community. I had to get coached. I hired a coach. I've done so much studying on marketing. My background is and I was a graphic designer. So I was in the marketing world because I was designing for agencies and things like that. So my background is in the creative, but I loved I love messaging. And I think
Mhm.
we share that because, our backgrounds. But so messaging is so important. And it's kind of funny how you see the evolution of where you're at, because even though I started out in a creative space, I ended up in a coaching space, but lots of creativity with it. And it goes to show that I brought in that acquired skills from my past to help me in my marketing. And so what was the question again? I don't know if I
No,
answered it. What was
no,
the
no, no. Just well, just kind of as a business owner, a small business owner, I think sometimes it's really hard to wrap your head around marketing because there's so many different things and people
Mhm,
see it as a different thing. And what
right?
I just really appreciate about what you're doing is you understand the fundamentals and you're really using them. You're following the process, and maybe talking a little bit for my audience and like how do you get your mind there, how do you
Well, yeah, a mindset around that is I study. I mean, I am constantly educating myself, but I find it fascinating. Because there's so much
Hmm.
psychology to marketing. And I find that, okay, mindset is in this too. A lot of my messaging is you can create a better life after divorce. And so that is lifting up this person that is just completely decimated by divorce and showing them, hey, you can be the director of your own life. You don't have to let this one thing, direct your trajectory. You actually have the power to be the author and you get to create what is beyond this point. And so I love messaging in the sense that I'm uplifting people, and there's a lot of mindset in that, right? Because you could stay and wallow in that self-pity and be the victim the rest of your life. But if you take on the mindset of, you know what, I can heal from this divorce. I can create a better life. um, I may need some help, but I can do this. And once you start shifting from victim to hero or victim to
Hmm.
director or
Hmm.
author, your whole life can shift. And so mindset really, there's a great quote. Let's see. It's something like, if you look around you and see the results that you have, 95% of it is from your
Hmm.
mindset, and only 5% is strategy. So knowing that, how does that apply to marketing? Um, it's believing and having the faith that you can have what you aim for. And so creating a why is super important
Hmm.
to me,
Yeah.
because the how to's will fall into place. But there's got to be a why and there's got to be meaning behind it. So my work, there's a lot of meaning behind what I do. It's to create a better life for someone going through divorce, or to create a voice for a coach that loves what she or he does, but has no online awareness, no brand awareness or presence online. So again, it's like going for the underdog and lifting them up and be like, you can do this, and there's so much mindset and having the faith that you can create you
Yeah.
what you want, but you
Yeah.
got to aim
No,
for it.
I love that. Because you do work with solopreneurs and coaches. And I'm totally with you too. I have a coach, more on the business side, but I think having that
Mm-hmm,
somebody who has been in your shoes can really help you come along that's just a little bit further, or
mm-hmm,
is somewhere where
right.
you want to be when you're working with somebody who's fresh, whether it's a divorcee or a coach, like you said, you have a real estate agent.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get them like how do you start on that mindset track and getting them to, you know I don't know, for lack of a better word, feel like it's not just woo woo, that it's really something that they can leverage it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's start with language. The language you're using, it determines your reality. So if you're like, I think I want to do this. Do you think, or do you want to do this? I mean, there's like, language is
Hmm.
creating your reality. So be very mindful of what you're saying. Like, I have a friend, I love her to death, but she will say things. I'm like, don't say that. Don't. She's like, I'm too poor. I'm like,
Yeah.
stop saying that. say for at this moment, I choose not to buy that, but I plan to get it in my future. Don't put it out there that you can't, because I mean, really, words are so important because it starts with a thought, it goes into words. Those words, then, it really starts with a thought, a belief goes into words. Words become habits. Habits then become your reality. So being mindful of what words you're speaking over yourself, over your business, over your life, that's like the first place I start. When I have any kind of goal, say it's for business. I mean, really, just a month ago, I decided to do a master class for coaches. And so I have a partner and we were like, okay, let's put this together. Well, the first thing I do is get my goal sheet and I start writing a what is called, because again,
Hmm.
words create. I name it. I say, when is it going to be completed? And what are all the things I'm going to have to do to get there? And that's no different than divorce. It's no different than creating, in your world, I'm sure you can apply that same
Yeah.
strategy. And but not only is it strategy, it's the mindset to believe that it can come and be, come to
Yeah.
fruition.
No, I think it is true. You know, even like I look back at last year to this year, like last year was a bit crazy for me. I was maybe not in the best mind space. And you start to, it
Mm-hmm.
feeds on itself. And if
Mm-hmm.
you don't
Mm-hmm.
recognize it, you can, yeah, spiral. So,
Right.
I, like I said, got a coach, really started helping me kind of rethink about my business and even how I'm approaching to
Mm-hmm.
my life on the personal side. And it makes a big difference. And it's like this year has just opened up. And, we were talking before we started to hit
Mm-hmm.
record. It's almost like people are just coming out of the woodwork of wanting to work with
Mm-hmm.
us, have me on a podcast. I'm like, where were
Right.
you guys last year?
Right.
But it's probably because I
Yeah.
wasn't putting myself out there in a way that was inviting. And it's just changed.
Yeah, a great example, and this is all about mindset and how it works is, okay, let's take like someone that wins the lottery. Many times we see people that win the lottery, maybe they started and they really
Yeah.
needed the money and they won $5 million, right? And so then they kind of go crazy, and then within 2 years, they're back to square one where they started because their mindset did not shift with their new
Hmm.
income. So they were still telling themselves, I don't deserve this, or I am poor.
Hmm.
I am statements are huge. If they're still saying that, they are carrying the mindset of a person that does not have $5 million. So their body, their being, their every action is going to carry through with that idea that I am undeserving, or I am poor and I do not deserve $5
Right.
million. So that's the same thing that can be taken in divorce, where it's like you're in that victim mentality and you're like, she did this to me, and that's why I'm sad. And so you stay, and negativity breeds more negativity. But when you start elevating and changing that total belief system, where, hey, maybe I can create a better life, or maybe I can create a business that is coaching coaches. It's like that came out of thin air, but I was like, I can do it. Let's do it. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it's okay. You evolve. And so that's the mindset that I love to talk about, because so much of the reason people are being held back is the mindset
Hmm.
around their beliefs. It's all, when it all boils down to beliefs. So as you were saying, when you shifted that belief, things just started coming to you like you're like a
Yeah.
magnet. And that's what happens. Like when you start, and people would say raise your vibration, whatever. If you look at like radio waves, and you remember old school radio where you had to
Yeah.
find the
Yeah.
right station, right?
Hmm.
So once you tune in, you're like, oh, you're locked in. Well, it's the same way with what you're giving off. You're giving off these like vibrations. And if you're taking on the mindset of I'm undeserving, I have a very poor self-image, what you attract in your life is going to align with that type of belief. But if you're saying, you know what, I deserve the best, I am an entrepreneur, I'm a successful entrepreneur, you are going to start attracting what aligns with that belief. So belief, total belief system, mindset goes across the boards. It can be divorce, it can be marketing, it can be business, it can be entrepreneurship, solopreneurship, all that.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. Actually, I was talking with, I'm in a mastermind in this morning, and the lead, the coach, she said something. What was I complaining about? What was I complaining? But it was about meetings, and like, well, I have to be at that meeting. She's like, Reb, no, you don't. And she goes, and she said this. I was actually a little shocked. She goes, if you were a man, I think you would think about this differently, and this is why. So I'm interested to know, do you find working with women and men, do women have a harder time with this, or is it pretty much the same across
You
both?
know, it's different. Men and women are different. It's a fact, right? We are different creatures. And it doesn't mean that men don't get hurt. Men still get hurt. They typically, and this is a generalization because I'm sure there's many men that would be more like feminine and vice versa. But men are, here's the difference. With a man, I can be so freaking straightforward. With a
Mm-hmm.
woman, I make it a little bit softer. And I think if you just take it back to business, like, like with a man, and I've had some pretty high earner, like heavy hitters, and they're doing that all day. They're like, they're the disc D, which is like hardcore
Yeah.
dominant. And so you can just tell them like it is, and you're not going to hurt them or break them, even though it might
Mm-hmm.
be hard to hear. So there are different personalities, and typically, but not always, this is, men, I'm a little bit more like upfront with, frank, almost harsh. Women, I soften the blow a little bit if it's
Yeah.
something that I know it might sting.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a big generalization, but that's what I've been seeing.
Yeah, it is. And I get that everybody's very different. But I thought that was
Hmm.
interesting this morning. She said, Reb, if you
Hmm.
were a man, you probably would
Yeah.
think about this differently. And it kind of put me
Hmm.
on my heels, but I did understand her point. I did
Hmm.
get it. So,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
well, as we're wrapping up, what are like, what are some consistent things that you found work for you or your clients? Maybe like, I think three critical steps that you were telling me about that
Oh
you
yeah.
do every day that
Yeah.
keep you
Yeah.
in that mindset.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I know that if I do these three critical steps every day, I am going to set the stage for the day. When I don't do them, I can tell. So my three critical steps are: I get up early, I read devotional or inspirational, whatever feeds my soul, and I exercise. And when I do
Hmm.
those three things before 8 o'clock. I usually do it pretty early.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like I just know the day's going to go better. And I even tell that to my clients who are struggling. Go into the mailbox may be difficult, but if you could just get three things, and they don't even have to be big, get up early, read something inspirational, and maybe take a 30-minute walk. That is going to make your day better. And I certainly practice what I preach in that realm, because it makes a big difference in my how I approach my day.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. I'm the same. I'm an early riser.
Hmm.
Not everybody is, but my big thing is don't look at my phone. Just, besides the
Hmm.
turn off the alarm, get up early and yeah, do some physical activity. I try to go to the
Hmm.
gym, but if I can't go walk, even 10
Yeah.
minutes of yoga, just that physical
Hmm.
movement, just for
Hmm.
me mentally makes me feel better. Cause if I don't do it,
Yeah.
then I'm like regretting it all day. But
Yeah.
yeah. Well, thank you so much, India.
Of
Maybe
course.
one last question.
Yeah.
What is the best non-business advice that you have received that you would like to share with everybody?
I think the best advice would be, well, I heard this once and I thought it was so good, is fail forward, meaning
Hmm.
meaning failure is a good thing in business because it gets you one step closer to success, and there will be failure in business. And honestly, if you look at like inventors, They had 1,000 times attempts that failed, but there was that one that didn't. So it all led up to that one success story. And so to me, failing, it's even hard to even say failure, right? Because I don't view it as failing. Like when something doesn't work out, I know that I'm one step closer to success. So it's either fail forward or fail fast because you're just getting that much closer to your
Yeah.
success story.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. Yes, I've definitely heard the fail fast, but fail forward. I like that. So
Hmm.
great
Hmm.
advice. Well, thank you so much, India.
Of
If
course.
somebody did want to learn more about what you do or get connected with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, so go to my website. It's India, like the country, India, Kern, KERN.com. And I have all my information there. And also, if you are struggling through divorce, I do offer a complimentary consultation. So you get to get a taste of coaching to see if it even makes sense to you.
Great. I like that. Thank you. We'll put that in the show notes. And thank you,
Thank you.
everybody, for spending time with us on Revolutionize Your Marketing, Your Business, Your Life. And speaking about messaging, one of the things that India and I do connect on as well, among many, is the story brand and Donald
Hmm.
Miller. We love
Hmm.
that framework,
Yeah.
making your customer the hero. You're the guide in the story, but it's all about communications and your messaging. We
Hmm.
at Rebel are doing a workshop April 23rd where we are going to walk people through the 7-part framework and get people not only to just learn about the framework, but we're going to workshop that so people leave with some idea of some really good, clear messaging that they can take and start using in their marketing. All
Nice.
right. We'll put that in the show notes as well. And thank you again. Thanks, India. Really appreciate your
Oh,
time.
thank you. Thank you.